Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Craze of Commerce. Our today's topic is features of microeconomics. In last video we have seen scope of microeconomics. Today we will be focusing on features and importance of microeconomics. The very first feature is study of individual unit. As we have seen the definition of microeconomics, what it says is that microeconomics is a study of a particular firm, particular household, individual commodity, etc. So it focuses basically on particular or individual. It is very specific. So the feature says that microeconomics studies the behavior of small units rather than studying it as a whole. Next is price theory. It determines the prices of goods and services as well as factors of production. Now, prices of goods and services, factors of production, how they are going to decide the price by or with the help of demand and supply analysis. As I've said you before in the last video that if the demand for a particular product is high, then the price for that commodity or product is relatively going to be less. So on the basis of this study, it is going to decide the price. Next is partial equilibrium. Now it says that it studies individual unit or individual commodity. It isolates an individual unit. What does it mean by isolates? It separates the individual unit from the other forces, from the other main big forces. It is going to separate it and study only related to that individual unit. And that unit, how the unit is dependent on other economic variables, it will not focus on it. Next is based on certain assumptions. Now in microeconomics, all the theories which are formed, be it demand, supply, or you can say law of marginal utility, all the theories which an economist have framed, this all theories are based on certain assumptions. Now which are these assumptions? Assumptions like there is a full employment, there is a perfect competition. Now what does that mean? Full employment means what? In your country every member or every person is employed, but that is not possible in reality. As we all know, all are not employed. So whenever any theory is formed, it is assumed that everyone is employed. It is assumed that there is perfect competition. Perfect competition means what? There are large numbers of buyers as well as there are large numbers of sellers. It is not possible all the time. Next is slicing method. That means it splits, or you can say it divides the whole economy into small units. As we saw the first feature, that is it is an individual unit, study of individual unit. Same is slicing method. It is going to divide the whole into small pieces or into small divisions, and then it will study it separately. Example, individual income over national income. We know the whole country's income togetherly is called as national income. But in microeconomics, we study the income of only a single individual. So this is what is slicing method. I am slicing or I am splitting every individual, or I am separating, isolating every individual from the whole. Next is use of marginalism principle. What is mean by marginalism? It means the satisfaction derived from consuming additional unit. Now let's understand this with an example. If I consume or if I eat one ice cream, and by consuming that ice cream I am getting a satisfaction of suppose 5 units, okay, but when I am consuming two ice creams, my satisfaction level is 12 units. That means by consuming a single unit I am not getting that much satisfaction by consuming 2 units. That means by consuming the additional unit, my satisfaction level is increasing. This is what marginalism principle says. So whenever you go into any market, if you buy one ice cream, they say it may cost you rupees 30, but if you buy two ice creams, it will cost you rupees 50. So what does this mean? My satisfaction is going to increase, and side by side it is going to help my economy also to increase. So this is what is marginal principle. So every economist or everyone has to think about the marginal principle, how these measures will relate to the consumer choices and demand, how because of the prices and because of the consumption of additional unit, how the customers are going to be satisfied. Next is analysis of market structure. Now, economics is always analyzes every kind of market structure, be perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic, oligopoly, etc. There are various types of market. Related to this, I will be sharing some another video with you, but for as of now we have to just understand that microeconomics studies every type of market, be it perfect competition, be it monopoly, be it monopolistic, or be it oligopoly. Next is limited scope. Now, from the very beginning, we are been hearing that microeconomics studies only about individual. That means it can't move from individual to group, right? That means there is some limitation for the study of microeconomics. That is not in the case of macroeconomics. Macro is a very broader concept where you have to look after every and each aspect, but that doesn't happens with microeconomics. Okay, so this is what is features. First was individual unit. Microeconomics studies about individual unit. Price theory, with the help of demand and supply analysis, it is very easy to determine the prices of goods and services. Partial equilibrium, that means it is going to isolate, or you can say it is going to separate the individual unit from the group unit based on certain assumptions. Every theories are based with certain assumptions like full employment, perfect competition, etc. Slicing method, microeconomics studies the unit by dividing it into small pieces. Then use of marginal principle, where it is going to focus on the satisfaction derived by consuming additional unit. That means if I'm consuming one ice cream, I'm getting 5 units of satisfaction, but if I'm consuming two ice creams, I'm getting 12 units of satisfaction. That means total 7 units of satisfaction has increased by increase in the number of units. Next is analysis of market structure, means it is going to study each and every kind of market. Next is limited scope. Microeconomics is limited to only individual. It can't study the whole unit. Now moving further, we are going to look at importance of microeconomics. Now why the study of microeconomics is so important? First is price discrimination. It explains how the price of products and services are determined and why the prices differ for every product. Now with the help of this, we are going to know why how the prices of particular products are going to be and why they are going to differ from every product. Now see, every type of product is not going to have same level of demand. The demand for each product is going to differ, and as the demand for each product is going to differ, as the choices of customers are different, the prices of the product are also going to be different. Next, free market economy. Very important. It is a free market economy, that means government interference is comparatively less. It says it helps in understanding free market economy, that is laissez-faire policy. Laissez-faire policy means less government interference is there, and it helps us in taking the decisions of what to produce, how much to produce, and how to produce. And these all questions are depend upon we individual. What are our feedbacks, or you can say how are we replying or how are our demands. Because of that, it will be easy to decide what to produce, what how much to produce, and how to produce. Because of the demand, it is going to be easy to study this. Next is foreign trade. It helps in explaining various aspects of foreign trades, like effects of tariff on particular commodity, gains from international trade to a particular country. Next is economic model building. Now, economics is altogether dependent on various theories, tools, and terminologies. Without this, you can't study economics. So, the study of microeconomics is going to help us to clarify each and every theory, each and every tool and terminology. It is going to help us to understand it in a simpler manner. Next is business decisions. Study of price theory is very useful for the businessmen in deciding various policies of the prices. Because of price theory, you are going to understand the demand for the particular product, and with the help of these, the businessman is going to be at ease to make the decisions regarding prices, regarding the cost of production, how much a particular businessman should invest into cost of production, how much he should make investment. This all can be estimated by the demand and supply. If your consumers are demanding more, it is going to be very easy for the businessman to take the decisions. Next is useful to government. It is useful to government in framing economic policies, tax policies, public expenditure, allocation of resources, etc. Now how? As we know, as of now, there is a biggest pandemic happening in our country, that is COVID-19. And due to this COVID-19, various facilities are to be taken care of. Like we are in need of many hospitals, we are in need of, actually we all people are need of wealth, we are need in mask, we are need of vaccine. So why we came to know about this? Because of the individual is facing some problems, and with this problem, government is able to frame some policies for the common public. The common public will, how the common public will be able to access all the facilities. For that, government has to frame some economic policies, and to know this, it is very essential that there should be a study of microeconomics. When you're studying about a single person, individual person, then only you come to know what kind of problems a common man is going to face. And if this problem is known to the government, government will be able to frame some economic policies or tax policies. Next is basis of welfare economic. It studies on how resources can be used wisely and there would be minimum wastages. See, there are limited resources, but the wants for these resources is unlimited. So it is very useful to study how these resources will be able to use wisely, as well as there is going to be minimum wastage of these resources. So microeconomics helps us, or it is very important to study microeconomics, because it helps an individual to understand or to decide the prices, then to study what to produce, how much to produce, and for whom to produce. Then there is a decision of regarding foreign trade. Then all the theories are explained in a simpler way. Businessmen are able to take the decisions because of demand and supply. Then useful to government, because of your environment, government understands what how to frame the economic policies. And basis of welfare economic, that means how you can use your resources wisely, and that too by minimum wastages. If you like my video, please do like and subscribe. Thank you.